Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the whole elect of Israel. Alright, this lesson, I'm going to go into how these devils literally whitewash everything and they make themselves everybody. But I'm just going to tell you straight up right now, you're nobody. Right, you so-called white people, other than confusion of faces, you Edomites, you're nobody. All right, you were created to do wicked. You were created just to be a beating stick to the children of Israel, man. All right, the only reason that you're in rulership right now, the only reason that you were able to conquer the world is because Yahweh rigged everything for you to do that. That's the only reason. If it was fair playing game and it wasn't rigged out and it wasn't predestined to happen like that, you get your ass beat every fucking time. It's not even close. Not even close. All right. I was looking up a guy called Hannibal Barca, which is a Hebrew Israelite. All right, most likely from the tribe of Judah. All right. So I was looking him up, and I see a bunch of white people, and I know that's not true. But then I read about him a little, and it said he's noted as one of the greatest military leaders. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense why they'd whitewash him then. Of course. And another thing is, he hated Romans. He hated Rome, and he wanted to destroy Rome. Right? And they said that Rome idolized him and respected him. Right? So they created, they respected him. He was a good challenger. So there's a statue of him that they created. But it's whitewashed. It looks nothing how he looked, man. So why would they whitewash a guy that was a huge challenge to them? Because they want to make it seem like there's no other race that could ever possibly stand up to them, man. That they're the greatest people on the planet, when the reality of the scriptures is they're base men. They're the worst. They're completely the worst. They make movies like Tarzan, these cavemen movies, because they are cavemen. They were cavemen. Not everybody was. Alright? Just you Edomites, for the most part. Alright? You're nobody. You are literally nobody. Alright? So I'm going to play this video because History Channel decided to put him as a so-called Negro, which, are the make up the tribes of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, the southern kingdom, alright, the so-called Negroes. The Israelites are so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Alright, so they made him a Negro, and you look at the comments, and the likes tell it all. There's more dislikes than there's likes. All these crackers are so butthurt. They're like, well, why is he a Negro? Why, nobody in history that was great can be anything but white. That's how they look at it. So-called white. Even though reality is most of the people that are like him, are Jakes. The Bible, the Messiah is a so-called black man. So-called God, because that's just a title. His real name's Yahweh and his son Yahushai. Yahweh is a so-called black man. The Israelites were so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So basically they had dark skin. Moses was a so-called black man. Jeremiah was a so-called black man. King David was a so-called Negro. Negroes, you're not African, man. Alright? Hannibal Barca was a Hebrew Israelite. Okay? It's plain and simple, man. So I'm going to play this, and, I'm not even going to go through the comments, because we already know that crackers get heated. Alright? Because their lies are starting to fall apart. Because a society and a people that are built on historical lies, whitewashing over everything, cannot sustain itself forever. And you can see that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is lifting up that skirt, man. People are starting to realize that, wow, these images were actually painted over. There's literally a fucking picture of a guy painting pictures white when they were dark. There's literally a picture of a guy doing that. So if there's a picture of a man doing that, what does that tell you, man? During the Renaissance, they painted over all the images. They repainted them. They did statues. They made it to look like it was them ruling the whole time. When reality is, you go to, the right sources. You look in the right books. it tells you and shows you that so-called black people actually you ruled Europe for almost 1,000 years before the Renaissance, which is why it's noted as the Dark Ages. All right, and they were in kings. So people saying, making fun of us, saying, "Oh, you weren't anything," or you're nobody, shit like that. But the reality is, we're the greatest people on the planet. All right, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. We're the greatest people to ever exist. All right, and we need to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments, and we need to prepare for our kingdom and be set up, man. All right, because I can tell you one thing: these crackers aren't going to go down without a fight, man. So once Yahushua returns, the elect are going to take the kingdom by force. All right. Slocky, there's mosquitoes biting me. Alright, so the point is, I haven't even watched this whole thing. The point is, he's a so-called black man according to, or not the scriptures, because I don't really think he's in the scriptures. I'm pretty sure he isn't. From what I know, I don't think he is, but I'm saying the Israelites are so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans according to the scriptures, but Hannibal Barca was a Hebrew Israelite, alright, which according to the scriptures had melanin. Okay, and you need to come out of these lies, man. Look up Russian icons. They're all painted over, man. And what for? Because, let me tell you, man. Let's go to the scriptures. Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth, so the whole earth, is given into the hand of the wicked. So how come you so-called white people are proud to say, yeah, we're in rulership, blah, blah, blah. But when we bring out this scripture, all of a sudden you're not in rulership. All of a sudden the Arabs are or something. Because you're fucking hypocrites, man. Because you don't want to live up to what you really are. You're crackers, alright? You're nobodies, you're wicked. And like I said, the only reason that you're in this position is because you were put in this position. But guess what? Your world is coming to an end. America's about to get destroyed by nuclear missiles, and the rulership seat is going to be transitioned to the Israelites, the righteous people, man. Alright? The people, the nation that Yahweh chose himself. Alright? So the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So it's saying, if it's not the so-called white man, who the hell is it? Because it's so obvious who it is, man. And you confusion-faced brothers that look like so-called white people, or, Chinese or Arabs, whatever. But your father's seed goes back to a tribe, then you're an Israelite. Alright, so this message does not apply to you. But you so-called white people are a bunch of bitch-ass niggas, man. Alright? You'll talk shit. Jake walks up, and then you're like, I didn't say nothing. Because you're a pussy-ass nigga, alright? And that's why this kingdom's going to get taken from you. Because that's prophecy, alright? But you got pride. You're a piece of shit with pride, man. That's all you are, alright? And this is not a message like, oh, let's all band together with weapons. No, this is a spiritual war, man. Alright, you're spiritually getting taken down right now, alright? And you're going to go into slavery along with the other heathens for what you've done to the children of Israel. Look up Russian icons, man. It's pretty obvious that they were whitewashed. Okay, and a lot of, some of them even have freaking, afros, basically, but they painted them white. And they changed their hair color. Like it's not obvious, man. Like it's not already completely obvious that that's a so-called black man. Alright. Prove that Israel was chosen. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6, Lakia. For thou art an holy people, which holy means separate. Holy, the word there for the Hebrew, is Kodash, all right, which means separate. For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy power. Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. That's why you look at sports, all that. You see Jake dominating. You see Jake ruling sports, man, dominating everybody. And everything. You give Jake an opportunity, no matter what you do, no matter what you think you're doing good, there's a Jake that can do it better than you, man. You know, you'll say, oh, this player or this boxer, whatever, was the greatest. And they'll be like, no, this guy was, just because he looks closer to them. But they don't realize that that's a confusion of face Israelite. All right? Everything you do, man, all you heathens, everything you do, there's a Jake out there that does it 1,000,000 times better than you do. He just hasn't been given that opportunity. All right? Because we're on the right-hand side. You devils, you Edomites, are on the left-hand side. All right, let's get more proof. Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 2. For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy power, and Yahweh hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all nations that are upon the earth. All right? That's clear as day, man. Above all people, all nations, above everybody. All right? Now I'm really going to get the scriptures. First Maccabees. Or I'm really going to get the dagger here with this one. The one that's going to cut into your spirit. So the wicked are the so-called white people, right? How do we know that? First of all, we can look at the elite banker families. You know, the Illuminati, as you call them, on the left-hand side. They're all Edomites, all right? Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever, which is righteous anger. Alright? Let's read up, because this will make you devils feel real good. Verse 2, I have loved you, saith Yahweh, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith Yahweh, yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Alright, so Yahweh, who you call God, hates you so-called white people, man. Other than confusion of faces, he hates you Edomites. He only loves the children of Israel, man. He doesn't care about you other nations, but at least he doesn't hate you as much as the wicked children. Alright? Like, some of you devils pull that card. Well, that's the Old Testament. A lot of the Old Testament, a good amount of prophecy in there hasn't even happened yet. That's why they repeat it and say it was written. Because let's see Paul, and Paul's an Israelite, by the way. How do we know that? Romans chapter 11, I say, then hath Yahweh cast away his people? Yahweh forbid. For I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. So Paul himself is an Israelite from the southern kingdom, the tribe of Benjamin, right? Which is you so-called West Indies, which are also basically Negroes, all right? So-called Negroes. Negroes are not Africans. All right, you live in a world that's ruled by the wicked, by Edomites. Of course, they're going to teach you history that's whitewashed and lies. All right, but it can't stand forever. Okay, I'm walking to avoid these mosquitoes, man. All right. Oh yeah. Okay, Romans chapter 9. Which Romans chapter 9 cuts your whole religion, because religion's bullshit. The Bible ain't dealing with religion. Romans chapter 9, verse 13, as it is written. So it's written, reiterated. Where was it written? Malachi, chapter 1, verse 1 to 4. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with Yahweh? Yahweh forbid, for he saith to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. Alright, so he'll love who he wants to love, man. And he'll hate who he wants to hate. He's balanced. Alright? What about you other nations, man? This is focusing on Esau mainly, but what about you other nations? Well, Isaiah chapter 45, or 40, Slakia 40, verse 50, or 15, Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing. So basically, The Edomites are the wicked on the left-hand side. The Israelites are the righteous on the right-hand side, but we're, just being disobedient, and our people are going off, which is why 2/3 of our people need to die. But you other heathen nations are just extras in the movie, man. All right? You're just that guy in the background sitting at the table drinking coffee, all right? But you've still had your role, man. You've still had your moments of rulership. Esau's given you more liberty than the children of Israel because you helped him make Israel basically go extinct temporarily, which extinction isn't a temporary thing, but I'm saying in a spiritual aspect, you basically remove their real, in the spirit, you made them extinct, but they're coming back, man. They're being revived somehow. All right? Because you erased the name of Israel, man, and you whitewashed it and changed the whole history. But guess what, man? You whitewashing pictures now isn't going to change what the truth was back then. So painting these pictures of the Messiah as a so-called white man isn't going to make that reality. That's just going to make you feel good and make all your descendants that are fucking retards, blinded by white supremacy, believe that and be even more proud than they already are. All right, got another one. 2nd Ezra chapter 6. Lucky, I'm getting freaking eaten up by these mosquitoes, man. 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 56. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, and be like unto spittle, and hast likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. So they're nothing, man. They're literally spit. They're garbage. They're nothing, all right? All right, and we're going to stay humble in humility, and keep humility, all right, because we're not prideful people. All right, and we're blessed and thankful and grateful that we were the chosen. All right? So I'm going to get probably one more scripture, close it out, really, stab these devils in the spirit, which is in the Apocrypha, which ironically they took out because it had so much truth in it. First Maccabees chapter 3 verse, well, the whole scriptures do, but people don't understand it. Only the elect will fully understand it. First Maccabees chapter 3 verse 48, and laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images. All right, so they opened up all these images and they painted over everything. All right, so you devils are going to pay for that, man. All right, and I got another, I'm going to read some more scripture. Read from your favorite book, Esau, which I'm saying that, as a joke, because the book of Obadiah condemns you so-called white people completely. All right, Obadiah chapter 1. So there's only one chapter, but that's more than enough. I'm going to start verse 3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? That's how they feel right now. They're prideful. And although they may be prideful, which they are, their whole society is crumbling, right? Which you can easily see if you're paying attention. That though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. All right, so he's going to tear you down. You're climbing up that ladder, trying to get further up in your rulership seat, and he's going to grab you by the shirt and pull you down. All right, I'm just going to get to the point with this. You can read this whole book. This whole chapter is heavy. Verse 15, for the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, they shall swallow down, they shall be as though they had not been. All right? Verse 18, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. They shall kindle in them and devour them. there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh has spoken it. So after 1,000 years of slavery, you devils are going to go extinct, right? And the other heathens are going to, go back to their lands, but still be in submission to us, of course. But it'll be righteous. They'll be eating real food, breathing real air, drinking real water, possibly. But we'll have that stuff instead of this fake bullshit that you devils push out, man. All right? Revelation chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. This is talking about if you have understanding. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Who are the saints? The Israelites. Specifically the elect. All right? I'm going to get a couple more, because I really am getting bit up. But that's right, man. We're gonna endure everything, all right? Adawan Ratazah, we're of the elect. Adawan Ratazah, we can endure till the end. All right, Psalms 147. All right, 149, Salakia. Verse 5, let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of Yahweh be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen, and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye Yahweh. Alright? So call halayim la Yahweh ba Shema Shai Waharakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone who were well. Peace and blessings to the whole elect of Israel. Abad Babal. Keep pushing, Shalom.